Hi everyone, this is Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. What you're looking at is panel fabric. It has this nice long running designs through it. These are used a lot for framing quilts because they're just beautiful. I've done it before and I just love the effect. You could make placemats out of these. Also, if you like to make round fabric baskets, this is also a perfect selection. Let me show you another one. All right, this has a beautiful Christmas pattern on it. This particular one has a really nice wide border, so it's perfect for a table runner. Where can you get fabrics like this? Well, you can go to quilt shops, and this particular brand on this fabric is from Treasure Fabrics of Soho. So they make a holiday collection. I bought this a few years ago, but I have the feeling it's probably still around. A couple of the websites I like to go to, if you can't find it in your local quilt store, is equilter.com and fabric.com. When you get into the website, in the little search block, you just enter panel fabrics or say border prints, something like that, and a lot of different options will appear. On this particular one, this one is about 14 inches this way, so I'm going to turn it into an absolutely beautiful table runner. It's a really quick project, so let's get started. How much fabric will you need? That depends on how long your table is. So measure the length of your table runner, and that's how much fabric you're going to need. Also, you'll need the same amount for your interfacing. I would use anywhere from a medium weight to a heavy weight iron-on interfacing. I use Pellon Craft Fuse number 808. Also, you're going to need the same length of fabric for whatever you want to use on the back. How I'm going to cut it is I'm going to cut it from the raw edge at one end all the way down to the raw edge at the other end. Widthwise, I'm going to cut from right here where the black and the white fabric come together, and then I'm going to go over the same amount, which it looks to me is about 1/4 of an inch, go out this way and cut. So I'm going to cut straight down this way. And remember, only cut through one side of your fabric. Now fold it in half and make sure your edges along the sides are the same. Now you want to square this off here. So place one of the lines on your ruler, place it on the edge of your table runner piece. So, and you're going to cut both ends straight at the same time. When you're designing your table runner, think about how you want the end of the table runner to look like, each end. Do you want it square like this? This is one choice. Or would you like it to have a look something like this, where it kind of turns in on the far corners like that, and you have that kind of look? Or do you want it pointed at each end? So fold your fabric a little bit. Let me see if I can get it kind of in a temporary point here. And decide if you want it pointed or just square at the end. So let me show you how you would cut it if you decided you wanted to change the shape of the end. Fold your fabric in half and make sure that it is even, and decide if you want to cut these corners off a little bit. Just decide where you want to start and where you want to stop. So let's say you want to cut just outside this row here, these straight lines going this way. Then you'd go out about 1/4 of an inch away from it. And then how long do you want this to be? Do you want this to be 3 inches, 4 inches, whatever you want to do? And then with your rotary cutter, and I'm not going to really trim mine, and then cut. That's one way of doing it. If you want it pointed, you would still fold it in half. Place your ruler at here up at the point, and how steep or deep of a point do you want? Do you want a very shallow point or a very long point? And then you would just cut it from there. So that's how easy it is to change the shape at the end. Now you want to layer your fabric. Take your interfacing and place the glue side down. It'll probably be shiny on that side of your interfacing, so put the glue side down. Place the fabric for the back, have the front side of it facing up. Place your panel fabric face down on top. Then you want to go ahead and place a few pins along the center of all of your top fabric here, because now we're going to cut all of this to be an exact fit. So you don't want to have their fabrics not pinned together. Place your ruler on there and begin cutting on all 4 sides, or excuse me, all of your sides. I've just finished pinning the edges all the way around on all sides. On one side in the middle, you want to leave an opening that's big enough for your hand to go through. So you're going to start on this side stitching. I'm going to stitch about 1/4 inch seam because it ends right there where my design ends. So that's where I want to stitch. So stitch all the way around all of the sides and then stop here. Make sure on both sides of your opening that you stitch back and forth. Now reach in between, in the opening here, in between the outside fabric and your panel fabric, and go down to one end, it doesn't matter which one, reach all the way down, and oops, I've got a pin in the way, there we go. And now grab a hold of that end and begin pulling it towards your opening. And so you're going to turn this front side out. After you got this side pulled out, then go down to your next side. Now reach back in again through your opening and go down to each end, and at each end press against those corners and poke at them to get them to come out, and push against the very end, keep poking, okay, and then once you get this end all pulled out, then you go down to the other end and do the same thing. At your opening, fold your edges in and make sure they're nice and even all the way across, and then pin it closed. Then go around all of your edges and press them flat. After you're done pressing, then you want to stitch real close to the edge all the way around, and I would use matching thread. I am deviating from the process of fusing the interfacing on. Normally you would do it at the beginning of your step. You would fuse it onto your fabric before you stitched it together. But I find I get much better results, and it's a lot easier if I wait to the end. So if you are going to fuse it at the beginning as the package says, make sure you follow those instructions exactly. And it'll tell you to place a damp cloth over the interfacing and use a hot iron with steam, and then hold it in place for a certain number of seconds. But because I'm waiting to the end, you don't need a damp cloth, but you still need to dampen your fabric. So dampen it real good, and then using a hot iron with steam, you set it down, give it a burst of steam, and hold it for 12 to 15 seconds. Then you would lift, move it again, and hold it in place for 12 to 15 seconds. So you would go over the entire top side of your table runner. For more table runner projects, play this video to the very end where you will see a green screen and then click on the links. If you like this video, please click on thumbs up and also click on share to share this video with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then click on that red button down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Click on that little bell and then enter your email address so that you'll receive future email notifications about my latest video. If you don't seem to be receiving those notifications, go to your cell phone, click on Settings, and set notifications in the on position. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. Thanks again for coming by. See you next time. Happy sewing!